Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Let's Talk with Crystal K. Today, joining me is entrepreneur, mom, creator of Moms Over Matter, also known as MOM, Mom, and the owner of Kimmishtry. We got a lot to talk about.
We do.
How are you?
I am, you know what, I have been sick for the past 2 weeks, so I am just like getting back to myself. I've been out of work all week last week. I tested negative. It wasn't COVID. I tested negative twice for that. So it wasn't COVID. We're assuming that it was a flu. Basically for me to go back in would be just to confirm it. So I just was just like, I'll just ride it out because it wasn't anything that they could do for me at that point. Mm-hmm. So I've been home with the kids for the week, sick, and thankfully none of the kids got sick. So that's a big win.
I'm glad it wasn't COVID. So I'm glad you're feeling better and no kids are sick. Yes. So super happy about that. So how's your 2020 in general?
2020 has definitely been a year of vision. Going into 2020 was like, this is my year. Like, that's what I, was telling myself. But a lot of stuff was just like so eye-opening. Just like even in business, like even with my shoes, like going through the process with my shoes, I'm still going through the process with my shoes. Like I just picked a shoe that I'm just like, oh, this is it. So, and it's November. So it's been a process, and I think in 2020, I thought it was going to be like this big turnaround year, but it was like literally just like going through a process. I think that's when I really got serious about Moms Over Matter as well, and understanding what my journey is like this year, my journey, as a mom, and having 3 kids, and them being like all under the age of 5, and just trying to, and still trying to, maintain and work and, do the entrepreneur thing, and you get so caught up in like, comparing, like, dang, I'm not where such and such at, and I'm not, where, and they started when I started, and it was just like more so just honestly like really sitting down and actually doing some soul searching and being like, okay, you're okay. Like,
you are.
You're okay.
You got to run your own race, and your timing is your timing. It's going to be the correct timing whenever it happens for you. You just got to keep grinding, stay consistent. That's what I always say anyway. So,
and I think, it's so hard. I think it's so hard because to me it was really hard for 2020 because there was a lot of stuff that I had to like, because I think I had my first Moms Over Matter event in December of 2019, and like it was a free event, so it was like we filled the spots almost immediately, and the kids, the moms, they enjoyed it because like a mommy and me cookie decorating class, for moms to bond with their kids. And so I was like, oh, okay, so we'll do another one. And then that's when COVID hit, and it was just like,
gotta revamp. Yeah,
I was just like, that kind of sucks. So it was just like, when you think, everything is gonna go well, and then, God's like, nah, let's try something different. So it's really been hard to really revamp and pivot. Like, it's been tough.
Well, at least you're flexible, and I know that there's a lesson somewhere in there, something that you definitely learned from the whole 2020 experience. Everybody that I've been talking to, I've been asking them, what has 2020 taught you? Because I feel like we all had to shift, no matter like what field you're in, whatever you were doing, we all had to shift somehow. 2020 and COVID has all affected us in different ways, and I feel like you can take the negative road or you can take the positive road and find, so I think overall it's a good thing. 2020 has definitely, like you said, it's been eye-opening, and what's so crazy about that is like how we were ending 2019 talking about 2020 clear vision. Now we talking about it, we see it clear. It's eye-opening.
It's like, you don't see it now. Crystal.
I don't know what happened.
That was bad.
Okay, I was like, where'd she go? Okay.
But my eyes are open now, and and honestly, I'm grateful because a lot of stuff I kind of, I wasn't. What's the word? I wasn't as intense about it, and it was like more so like, no, Kim, you gotta do this better. You gotta do this better. Like, you can do this better. You can do stuff better than that. Like, stop giving up. Can I cuss?
Yeah.
Stop with my kids. And it was just like, Kim, there's other moms out here doing it. Use your resources. Get it done.
So what is the one thing you would tell other entrepreneurs that are getting started?
One thing I would say is there is entrepreneurship is not this mathematical problem where there's this equation and then you get this perfect answer. Like everybody's process is totally different. It is not math. Entrepreneurship is not math. Unless you're talking about finances, then that should be math. But in regards to the journey, like you have to understand that your journey is not going to be like anybody else's, because granted, everybody's circumstances and the what's surrounding them is not always the same. Well, it's never the same. Nobody has coming from the same background. So your level of, intensity or getting after it or consistency is definitely going to be different from anybody else's. And honestly, it's going to be hard. You're going to fail. Like, you're going to fail. And I think you have to understand that even in the failing, you just have to get up. You just got to get up. Like, you can't stay there too long. And you can't be around, like, just be mindful. Like, when you fall, like, you can't be around people that is mediocre. You can't be around people who are just kind of content with where they are. Like, you got to get around people that's going to be like, that's going to really tell you about yourself.
Yes.
It's
going to hold you accountable. Yes.
Yeah, I hate sometimes when my friends, they'll be like, yeah, Kim, I don't want to hear it today because you singing the same song from yesterday. And even though they hurt my feelings, just like, yeah,
you need that.
Check yourself. Check yourself. Like, what is you complaining about? Like, get after it and get it done.
I hear that. So let's talk about the shoe line first, and then we're definitely going to get into moms because you all want to hear about that. So tell us a little bit about Kimmishtry. Tell everybody what that is.
So honestly, Kimmishtry has been not saying it's been around because I haven't like officially launched like my own shoe, but Kimmishtry came about literally when I was in college. You going to college, you like, I'm away from my parents, I want to go out, and I'm thinking like, okay, it's time to go out. But then when it was time to get dressed, it was like, okay, you get dressed, but what shoes you gonna wear? Like, you wear size 12, girl. And so me and my friend Kayla, gosh, I love that girl. She's as tall as me. I'm 5'11". I think Kayla may be 6 foot, I think. And Kayla, she wore a size 11. But my foot at that time could kind of slide for an 11. So we would like swap. She was like, okay, what outfit you wearing? Oh, you wear an outfit, you wear shoes this tight, and then I'm wearing shoes that, like, literally that's what we did. And it was just kind of like, I was just like, well, dang, why is there such a shoe gap for women who have bigger feet? Like, well, I don't get it. Like, why can't we have the nice shoes that a girl who wears a size 7? Why we can't have those? And it's like, even when you have a shoe in our size, it's hideous. It's like, bro, who wearing that? I'm not wearing that. So it was like, okay, let me make a shoe line. I literally, like, the name Kimmishtry, I would be walking to class. I can't remember his name, but I would be walking to class, and it was this guy. He was the nicest guy, just very friendly. He was like, you look very Kimmish today. And I was like, okay, what is Kimmish? He was just like, that's just you. That's just you. And I was just like, okay. And the Kimmishtry came from, I went to, like, trademark the Kimmish or get the website, and somebody already had it. So I was just like, okay, I gotta find something else. I was like, what about Kimmishtry? Because you gotta find a formula. Like, I'm trying to find a formula to fit the feet of women with bigger feet. So let's do it like Kimmishtry. So that's where Kimmishtry came from. And we actually have our thigh-high boots that are coming out. Like, I love them. And it's for tall girls. Thick thighs save lives.
Thick thighs save lives.
And we also have another flat thigh boot that's also coming out. So literally, like, just going through that journey, finding a manufacturer, like, being able to figure out what these people in China be talking about. Like, that has been a journey. I literally went through a process where I got shoes made, like, logo in them, everything. And the people were like, they sent me the samples in a size 8, I think 8. And I was like, okay, so y'all send me a size 8 so I can see what they look like. But what about when it's time to mass produce and it's time to get, like, the size 12 with the size 14? And they were like, oh, we don't make them in that size. I'm like, clearly, I wrote in this email to you that I'm dealing with small, big feet. So it's just like going through that process. So having to go, I think I went through about 4 4 manufacturers.
Mm-hmm.
I went through 4 to actually find a good fit. So it is a process, and I think it's just I just want to be able to close the shoe gap for women who have bigger feet. Like, I want us to be able to have a platform or a store to be like, okay, if I want to go out, if I want to get cute, even in the corporate world, if I want to get cute and I want to be, do my strut myself, like, I can have bad shoes like the next 8. So that's just
so
Kimmishtry. And
what sizes?
So Kimmishtry runs from a size 9, a US 9 to a size 14.
14.
US.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what made you pick 14? Like, did you do like research to be like, all right, how many people?
Yes.
Because 14.
Yeah.
I think, like, I know you said you wear a 12, but like, I think the largest I know of any like woman that I know is like a 11. So you did your research. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So like growing up, I played basketball.
Mm-hmm.
So most women who played basketball, as far as like that I knew, they were tall and they had bigger feet. So I already knew of like girls who were already like a 12 before I was a 12, and so I remember being in Atlanta. Like when I first moved to Atlanta, I was just like, okay, I'm gonna have an entrepreneurship contest, and I want y'all to come with a business plan. And so I was like, okay. And my boyfriend at the time, like we went to what mall was it? It's the nice mall
in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I know the one you're talking about. Lenox Square Mall.
Yeah. Lenox Mall. And we he videotaped me going to every shoe store and asking them hey, do you guys serve a size 12? And they'd be like, oh no. And and the ones that did have a size 12, I was like, okay, show me what you got. Show me your selection.
Grandma
and they showed me selection, and it was bad. And then I was interviewing women. I was just like, what size shoes you wear? And one was like, oh, I wear 13. I was like, oh, for real? And so we were videotaping the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Just the whole thing. And it was just getting data, actually, because I think that was an humbling experience, because I was just in school, yes, I was an extrovert, but in the big city of Atlanta, I just moved to Atlanta, I'm just ugh. I don't know, I really got some hospitality, but I don't know.
Yeah.
So I think that was the big thing of actually getting out there in the market, because Atlanta's the black chamber of commerce.
Yes, the black mecca of the world.
Yeah, so it's you got people from all different backgrounds. Everybody is built differently. Mm-hmm. So it's just it's from where I'm from. Back in the country, all of us really had big feet because we didn't wore shoes when we went outside. Mm-hmm. So it's just but we ain't really back in the country. It wasn't really no reason to really get dressed up that unless you went to church or you got Easter Sunday or something like that.
Right.
So going there and actually doing my actually getting on the ground and doing my own research was where I found okay, yeah, let's expand this to a 14. Now of course we won't do the same amount of shoes we get in a size 10 and a size 14 because that market is smaller than the size 10 market, but that's where I kind of got on the ground and actually humbled myself and was just okay, let's see what this is about.
Nice. So we can look forward to thigh-high boots coming soon.
Coming in December.
Okay, next month. Okay, nice. Okay, let's switch a little bit and talk about moms. So tell me about mom.
So moms came about because, literally, I had a baby. We had a baby in 2015, and it's my first child. It's at that time it was my fiance. That was our first child, and it was okay, cool. This is cool. And then I think when he was 8 months, we were pregnant again, and I was like, what's going on? So we got the oldest 2. They're 17 months apart. And then at that time, it was just kind of, we weren't even thinking about kids. At that time in our life, not even thinking about another child. And in 2018, I remember finding out that I was pregnant again. I was just what? I'm not even in the right circumstances to even be oh, we might have a third one. And so after the third one was born, it was just like, and at that time, my husband at the time, we were separated, we were going through our own issues, and it was just more so like, okay, this is not turning out how I imagined it to go. Like, this is just not turning out how I imagined it to go. And I just remember being, like, just having to, you know, with him trying to find himself, me trying to mother through, you know, all of my circumstances, it was just like, this is a lot. Like, this is a lot. Like, I was really breaking down, but I didn't know. Like, I had no idea that I was breaking down, but I was breaking down. And it's like, now that I look back on it, I'm just like, wow, Kim, how did you get through that? Like, how did you get through that moment? And I think in the midst of me breaking down, I was just like, okay, Kim, you got to find a platform. You got to be able to release some of this. Like, you got to be able to release some of this. You got to find a support. You got to, you know, be able to step out and really talk about some of the issues that you had to mom over matter. Like, some of the issues that you really had to just be like, okay, I got to be a mom. Yeah, this is a matter that's important, but at the end of the day, I got to figure out how to be a mom, keep my morals and ethics, keep my integrity, and get through this. And that's where Moms Over Matter was born, because it was just like in a point of my life in transition. I was going through a divorce, and it was just like, this is a lie. Like, this is a lie. I need an outlet. And it literally was something that was birthed out of pain. Like, it was literally birthed out of pain, birthed out of brokenness. And I think that's how I relate to other moms, because I think a lot of moms go through situations where they are alone and they don't feel like they have anybody. And so it's just like you're momming over matters secretly. Nobody knows. So you're having to get through this, and you're not even understanding that you're momming over matter, because you're doing it in quiet. Like, you're doing, like, literally. A lot of situations I went through silently. So at that point in time, I wasn't understanding, like, if you're really momming over matter at this point. And then that's where I was just like, yeah, I think moms, we fight silent battles. And it's not until either it's too late or we're at our breaking point where the battle becomes loud. And now it's like, people think you're crazy. Yeah. It's like, oh, I've been dealing with this.
You've just been holding it, you know?
Yeah.
And now it's time to come out. So, what kind of moms are you talking to? Are you only talking to single moms? Or are you talking to all moms?
All moms across the platform, because at the end of the day, whether you married, single, divorced, separated, going through a transition, every mom has their battles, and they have their days where they just got to get up and they just got to mom over matter. Like, it doesn't matter what your background is. It don't matter how many degrees you got. It don't matter how much money you got.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, something can hit you. Like, say, for instance, Lord forbid, if a mom loses their mom, that's what matters. That you got the mom over, regardless of whether you married, single, divorced, whatever. So the matters is just literally mom with matters. So if you got a matter, you're welcome. And all moms,
how do you mom over matters? Like, what type of things are you guys discussing? Like, how do you get over it? Like, do you just let it all out? And is it just good to have people that can relate and know that you're not alone? Or how do you mom over matters?
This is how you mom over matter. You mom over matter by sharing your story. And that's where the So Good Mama series come in. Because we talk about moms who have, like, really severe matters, and it doesn't necessarily have to be severe, and it doesn't necessarily have to be bad. But if there is a subject that is very prevalent to moms, then, and that mom has gone through it and they mastered through it, then it's like you're how they have, like, the Oprah has the master class, like, you're the master teacher to teach the other moms how to mom over matter. And it's not to say, oh, you need to do this or you need to do that. It's just basically saying, I went through this situation, I'm being transparent about it. This is what worked for me. This may work for you. So it's allowing moms to understand, like, okay, you gonna mom over matter because we're gonna share our stories, and that's where the So Good Mama series. And it's and the soul is like SOW. So, like, you're sowing a seed, and it's basically for moms to sow good seeds. Like, we want you to sow good seeds so that your outcomes are positive and you can create wonders. Because I think. And honestly, I'm speaking for myself. Like, it was a point where I was very prideful. Like, it was just like, oh, nothing don't bother me. My ego was up here. Like, who? I don't got no problems. I'm good.
Right.
You know, I don't got no problems. And it literally wasn't until I went through that separation and going through the divorce, and it was just like, Kim, you got problems. Like, you got issues that happened to you a long time ago that you have not worked through, that now that I got to bring to the forefront for you to work through now. And it has been literally has grown me mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, to where it's just like, okay, people need to see this. You have to, you really have to be on a level of humbleness and a lack of ego to actually get out there and say, you know what, I'm going to share my story. Because even what we have coming up on our So Good Mama series is Wednesdays, we have a mom who went through a divorce. And she's going to talk about it. And she's in a newfound loving relationship. She has 2 children from her prior marriage. And she's talking about, loving after the divorce. And actually telling mom, you know, it ain't the end. If you're going through a bad situation. It's not the end, honey. It is not the end. And if you adapt that, if you sow, and it's just more so sowing those good seeds into moms to understand, it's not the end. You may have gone through a matter that you felt took you out, but it's not the end. It's not the end. Okay. So that's how I want to help moms, mom over matter. And as soon as we can get to a place where everybody's comfortable, we want to start having meetup groups and start doing mom trips and day trips with the kids, because we do some stuff with the kids and then some stuff we do just solo moms.
Yes, I saw where you have Mommy and Me classes and then solo classes. Tell me about those.
So the Mommy and Me classes are basically where you can bring your kids, and we have an instructor, whether it's a yoga instructor, painting. We had one where we were going to do a painting class, but of course COVID hit. Where it is crazy because I reached out to a good bit of individuals locally, and asking them to say, okay, can you host a class for moms to come in and actually be able to build that bonding time with their kids. And it's just more so for the moms to be able to build the bond with your kids, being able to ask those questions, if to where you get to a situation. Y'all probably hear my dad and my son in the background, and he may come on here and start talking. But to where you can build, you can build a relationship, because I think how I grew up, it wasn't okay, we're gonna have open conversations. It wasn't okay, we're gonna have a conversation about, something that may be bothering me, or how was your day? No, tell me really, how was your day? And it's basically where moms can actually have that time with their children, build a bond, so as their kids get older, they can remember those things. Oh, I remember my mama took me there, and it actually helps. It actually going to those classes, when your kids are being exposed to new things that they have not experienced, in school or out of school. It helps build skills, and that's where the Mommy and Me classes. It's just more so to build bonds within the mom and child relationship, and for the kids to actually build more skills.
Okay, nice. I like that, and I like where you're coming from. And you talking about sowing these seeds. I hear you, girl. I hear that. Okay, and the solo classes. What do we do in the solo classes? Or are we giving too much information? Am I giving too much information away?
Oh, no.
Okay. Tell me about the solo classes.
So the solo classes are basically classes where just moms only. So moms have to make sure that they have some reservation for their kids, but it's basically a time where it's you can be as authentic as a mom as you want to. You don't have to, you want to cuss, you want to do whatever. It's you can let it out. If you feel you can't cry around your child, come on and cry with us. It's normal. But it's just more so for us to decompress from mom life. Mom life is very overwhelming, especially if you do not get a break. So it is more so to allow moms to get a break and actually be not a mom. Don't be a mom. We want you to be, I would say, I need to be Kim today. I don't need to be mommy. I need to be Kim. And it actually gives moms the opportunity to, if you want to come and you just want to kind of just entertain yourself or go off alone, that's cool, because there's be sometimes I'm just I want to be around my friends, but I'll come with y'all, but just kind kind of let me do my own thing. And it just gives mom that openness to just be like, okay, this is my solo class. Like I had a class that was that doggone COVID. We gonna pivot. But I was planning a yoga class, and me and the yoga instructor was like going through like just different with chakras and things that moms might be dealing with, like mentally, and like having moms come in and being able to like not even worry about the other moms who are there, but to really focus on yourself. Like, you don't have to worry about your kids, but for you to really like get in a mindset to really focus on yourself. So it's just a time where a mom does not have to be a mom. They can do something fun and not have to worry about being a mom in that setting. We're not going to talk about mom stuff. We ain't going to ask you whether you fold your clothes. Did you, it ain't got nothing to do with mom stuff at all.
Okay. So you as a mom, how do you find balance? Because I recently heard Beyonce say that with her being Beyonce and then also being a mother and a wife, that she makes sure that every day she gets 5 minutes in the bathtub by herself, no mommy, no wife, no Beyonce, nobody calling her, but that she has to have that 5 minutes, because if she doesn't, she'll go crazy. So how do you find balance as being a mom?
You know what, I think I had to, as my kids got older, I had to let them know like what quiet time is. Now, I think a lot of times we feel like, oh, we can't tell our kids that, don't talk to me. No, my kids understand, okay, this is mommy's quiet time. And my daughter, she is like the, don't mess with mommy, this is mommy's quiet time. So it's actually building those boundaries with your children. Like, just saying like, okay, this is mommy's quiet time. Mommy don't want you to talk. Like, you can go get on your tablet. You can go do X, Y, and Z. But this is mommy's quiet time, whether it be 10 minutes or an hour. And it's like getting our kids to understand, like, because kids are smart.
They are.
And you can build those boundaries. And honestly, it teaches them to be like, okay, if I don't want to be bothered, I can build boundaries with other people to say, you know what? No, this is my quiet time. This is my space. And so I just started telling my kids, okay, mommy needs her quiet time, and this is what mommy's quiet time consists of. And of course, like in the beginning, I had to, get them back. Like, okay, no, you're doing too much. And no, you're talking, no. And then until they got it, it's like, okay, this really is mommy's quiet time. And then also, like, me and their dad, we have a schedule where I do a weekend, he do a weekend, I do a weekend, he does a weekend. So, and he's been really good with making sure that he gets them on his weekend, or if he can't get them on his weekend, he makes reservations for someone to get them on his weekend. So we go on that schedule. So like, I will plan things that I want to do like around that. So that's what helps me build a balance, and just more so communicating with him and just saying, okay, if I need a break, like, okay, listen, this is getting overwhelming. What can we do? Because at the end of the day, I have them the most of the time. So it's just like more so having an open dialogue with him and letting him know, like, okay, this is what I have going on. It's getting a lot, and then just making sure that he's understanding of where I'm coming from. And granted, being that I stay with my parents, they help out a lot. That's so good. If I am getting a little overwhelmed, I can always be like, okay, go sit with your granddaddy real quick. Go sit with your granddaddy real quick. Or like, if usually on Sundays, I don't know why I don't ever have my kids on Sundays. Like, don't ask me. I don't know where I got into this routine. But on Sundays, it's like literally my days to either go to the park, walk, listen to church, and that's like my grounding. That grounds me more so for the week. That helps me stay grounded. So it's just like more so just having that time to where you can ground yourself. And I think just make sure that you carve out that time regardless, because if you don't, you're going to lose it. You're going to be yelling at your kids for no reason. And honestly, I think, and I had to learn that, like, just fussing. It's like, why am I fussing at them for being kids? Right. So it's just like, I had to check myself, like, okay, yeah, Kim, you need your time, because if you don't have your time, it's going to affect your kids.
Nice.
Yeah.
So tell everybody where they can find Kimmishtry and how they can follow Mom.
So you can find Kimmishtry on Instagram or Facebook at KIMMISHTRY Kimmishtry. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook there, and you can find Moms Over Matter on Facebook at Moms Over Matter, or you can find us on Instagram at Moms Over Matter 1. Our website done by Miss Monique Bell for the Kimmishtry. So be on the lookout for that. We're going to be using so be on the lookout for that. We got a photo shoot that's coming up, so be on the lookout for those things that are coming that's going to actually show off some of our product. I'm super excited about it. I'm really super excited about it because this has been a long time coming. So I'm super excited about it. And you can actually, if you need anything from me, you can follow my personal page, and that's at KIMMOAN. I know people be like, what is Kimon? Kimon? No, it's literally like my name, my middle name, and then my last name. So Kimberly Monique Anderson. But that's where you can find me at KIMMOAN on Instagram, or you can find me on Facebook. I don't find me on Facebook.
You don't find me on Facebook? No Facebook? You gonna scratch that?
I mean, you can find me on Facebook, but I'm just very particular about like who I add on Facebook. So.
Facebook is different. It's a different monster.
Yeah, Facebook is a different atmosphere.
Look, nobody ever agrees with me with that, but thank you, Kim, for agreeing with me about Facebook being a little bit.
Yeah, it's a different ball game.
It is.
It's very different. A little too intimate, a little too personal. Facebook to me. So.
I can definitely feel you. I'm more of an Instagram girl myself, so I can feel you on that.
Right.
So last thing before we wrap up here, what advice would you give to a new mom?
Don't lose yourself.
Don't lose yourself. Okay.
Do not lose yourself. If you, I don't care what it is, if you feel any bit of off, talk to somebody. Mm-hmm. Talk to somebody that's going to be able to help you, that's not going to judge you. Because you go through so many changes after having a child, and nobody really talks about it. I mean, we're talking about it now, but at any point in time where you feel like you're shifting and it doesn't feel like you, that's when you need to start talking. That's where you need to have some early intervention that's put into place so that you can be able to support yourself and support your child. Because I think we take on this strong women, the strong mom persona, and that's so toxic. It's so toxic. Oh my gosh, it's so toxic because we want to be superwoman, but okay, once you superwoman, then what? You don't get no prize for that. You don't get no token for that. So you better be able to talk about it and talk about what's going on and get help. Like, that's the best advice I can give a mom or new mom. Like, if you feel any inkling of something being off, communicate. Communicate with somebody that's going to be able to help you.
Okay.
Most definitely.
That is great advice. Ladies, do not lose yourself. Ladies, if your feet are size 9 to 14, hit Miss Kim, okay? Because she got you, and you're not going to be looking like somebody's grandma or somebody's brother. I don't know. But anyway, Miss Kim, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for talking with me and joining me today. I really enjoyed the conversation.
Thank you so much.